You're listening to the Rebel Connect podcast, powered by Rebel Strength and Performance. Community isn't built by luck. It's built by people who show up every day, take risks, and create real impact. I'm Derek Talish, owner of Rebel Strength and Performance, along with co-host Melissa Jaquinto. We sit down with Rebel members, local business owners, community leaders, and change makers. You'll hear their success stories and the way they're building community and legacy right where you live. Want to stay inspired and connected? Subscribe or follow the show so you never miss an episode. This is Rebel Connect, where local stories become lasting impact. Welcome to another episode of Rebel Connect podcast. I, however, am not Derek Talish at this moment. I am Johnny Appleseed, and I just signed up for the 6-week transformation challenge, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. All right, first of all, I'm super excited about it. I'm going to work out as hard as I can. For the entire 6 weeks, I'm going to get up and I am going to go for a run. I'm going to do a Rebel session at 6 o'clock in the morning right after. I am going to exercise at lunch, and I'm going to go for a long walk in the evenings. I'm going to do that every single day for 42 days.
Wrong, Johnny Appleseed. That is not what you are going to do.
I'm also going to completely ignore my nutrition because I am working out so hard. I can eat whatever I want during that entire 6 weeks.
Also very wrong, Johnny.
And I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm also going to do it completely alone. I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm doing it. I'm going to do it by myself, and nobody's going to know, and all of a sudden I'm going to just disappear. And nobody's going to... Guys, don't be like Johnny Appleseed, okay? You can't be doing that during a 6-week transformation. Guys, what can we do?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we'll talk about Johnny's first point of running 17 miles and then working out at Rebel and then walking after work and doing all these things. I think people come into the 6WT sometimes a little bit too hard, too fast. Will you make progress if you do that? Yes. Is it going to be sustainable? No. We have seen in the past that people kind of come in firing in all cylinders. They get really, really tired. They beat their bodies up. And then by the end of the 6 weeks, they fall off the wagon, which is not what we want. We are trying to build sustainable, healthy habits that we can continue on post 6-week challenge. So, biggest piece of advice. Pick a frequency that works for you. I think that's a big one where people come into it being like, I'm going to come in 5 days a week. I'm going to work out 5 days a week. And then they don't necessarily do that. They get really upset. Or they do that and they burn out. And then by weeks 4 and 5, they're coming in once a week because they're super beat up. So I think first thing is a sustainable amount of workouts per week where you can still hit your goals, but also still live your life outside of the gym.
Totally agree. It's such a fine line between like harnessing that motivation for people and figuring out like what we're going to recommend for them and not burning them out, you know? And I think that the whole prescription of like exercise super hard, super fast, the burnout there is just so not worth it. And it's so upsetting to see it when somebody's so excited and like we're trying to pull them back a little bit like, no, don't exercise 7 days a week and go super hard because you're not going to do it forever and then you're going to fall off. It's such a challenging thing.
Yes.
Number 2. Ignoring nutrition. That is one of the biggest ones, right? How many times have we had like somebody really kill it in the gym and do super well, but we know that their nutrition hasn't been particularly on point, and then they do well with the challenge, but at the end of the day, it really wasn't something that you could outrun, right? Like you can't outrun a bad diet. That's the hard part of it, you know? So that's a big thing too, is making sure that you don't completely ignore nutrition. Now, we are really good at helping people figure out exactly where they need to be to start. We're very good at meeting people right where they are. That's one of the bigger ones. And finally, mistake number 3.
Mistake number 3, going at it alone. If you are going at something alone, you are almost never going to carry through those tough times. And that's really what you're preparing for when you're building these habits. And I always preach during the challenges, like make sure you communicate with your coaches. Going back to the first point even too, of doing too much too fast. Maybe you aren't like Mr. Johnny Appleseed where you're going too much too fast, but you're just someone that wants to increase frequency. And if you're not letting your coaches know that, hey, like I'm tired, I'm sore. Last challenge, remember she came in and she was like, I almost didn't come today. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you did. Why didn't you almost come? Because I just feel beat up. And it's important that you like articulate those feelings so that maybe we do a little bit of a different type of lift. And that's part of just not being alone. Like you have people to hear your feelings, validate your feelings, and not just because they have to, but because it's a real thing that people deal with during the challenge, is not being alone. And that's why it's awesome to have family and friends doing it with you, because those talking through things like that, the struggles, and realizing that it's not a you problem, it's just a common issue that everyone deals with fitness, is very powerful.
Now, I'm not Derek anymore either. My name is now Shakira. Okay. And Shakira, yeah, no, different one. Shakira just signed up for the 6-week transformation challenge, right?
Awesome.
And I'm expecting big things. All right, I'm expecting real big things. I'm not gonna have to do too much. My body changes super fast. I'm gonna work out 1 day a week. All right, and I'm gonna drop 30 pounds. What do you guys say to that? Why? Tell me why. Why can't I do that?
You're going to need an uptake in frequency and volume if you really want to make changes and see the improvement.
But I'll work out really hard that 1 day, and I'm going to make sure that I get my 3,000 steps a day. That's how many I should get, right?
No, Shakira. You need way more than that.
Shakira, yeah, you must be moving your hips a lot if they're only getting 3 steps a day.
I think what we're getting at here is the effort needs to match the goal, but it can't be too much, right? And it can't be too little. There has to be a sweet spot somewhere in between where you are putting in an adequate amount of effort, not just 1 day all out super hard and then getting 1,000 steps a day for the other 6 days a week, because that's literally like 97% of your week is not moving, and then 3% of the week is you going super duper hard. That there needs to be a correct amount of intensity throughout the challenge, correct amount of workouts per week, intensity during those workouts, and kind of connecting to what Ryan said, you have your team of coaches to make sure that that intensity is managed throughout the challenge and that it's at a pace that works for you but is still pushing you towards your goals.
Okay, well, now let me ask you this. No longer Derek, my name is now Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln is a very hard worker. He's signing up for 4 days a week for the challenge, okay? And I'll tell you what he's doing. He's working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all right? Now, he's working really hard outside of the gym as well. He's got a super high-stress job. But he's coming in at 6:30 at night. He's running on fumes. He's over-caffeinating for these sessions, okay? He has a primarily desk job. He's working probably 55, 60 hours a week. And when the weekend comes, I need to let loose, okay? I'm going to dinner on Friday. I'm going to dinner on Saturday. I've really focused on my nutrition. Monday, Thursday, I'm doing what I want. And guess what? Football Sunday is here. Poof, let's go. I'm going beer and wings because I love it. And I'm still going to make progress. What do you think about that?
I think those habits, building those habits is something that maybe you don't have to be super strict all the time, but in the short term, you're doing yourself a disservice to not commit to the goal you set out to achieve. What do you think about that, Melissa?
I think we have talked about this before, but the weekend is like, I forgot the percentage of your week that it is.
56.
56% of your week. So
56% of your week is the 4 days.
yes. So when you think about that, you think, oh, the weekend, it's fine. I can do whatever I want. But you can ruin the rest of your week of healthy eating with unhealthy decisions on a weekend. I'm going to be bad cop for a second. Stop saying you deserve all these things because they don't align with the type of person you're trying to be and your goals. You have to decide which you want. You can't be both at the same time, right? And you can have the luxuries in life, the wings, all that kind of stuff, the beer every once in a while, but it just can't be an all-out crazy fest of eating and drinking, and it needs to be monitored in some way, shape, or form if you're seriously trying to reach your fitness goals. Abraham.
I'll be good cop. Since you're a bad cop, you need
That's
a
fine.
good cop. In the same breath, as you don't want to kill all your progress with binge drinking beers and binge eating wings on the weekend. Yeah, you might have a few of each, but you also don't want to go completely health nut during your time during the week, because that's going to just egg you on even more to want the cravings and want the 12 beers, 20 wings, like that you don't need, but you've been depriving yourself so long and so strictly for the challenge. Like maybe you have your super healthy lunch and you pack yourself 3 Hershey Kisses.
Balance.
And it's
We love balance. Balance is great.
Balance is awesome.
But it's just kind of goes back to that point of You don't want to be so restrictive during the week that you feel like you have to go insane on the weekends because you didn't have any enjoyment during the week of any of your food choices, and you can have a little bit of both, and that's okay.
Abraham Lincoln thanks you.
You're welcome, Abraham.
Now, my name is no longer Abraham. It's not Derek either. My name is John Dutton. I am
Sorry.
Every other
Do you know who John Dutton is?
No.
You never watched Yellowstone?
I don't watch
No.
Oh my God. Well, I have my Yellowstone ranch. I'm a third generation rancher, and I'm signing up for the 6-week transformation challenge. And I'll tell you what, I haven't gone to the doctor in 30 years, okay? And I don't plan on doing it. A lot of things hurt. My body doesn't feel very good. My energy is horrible despite eating pretty good. Good Montana cooking. How you doing? But the thing is, I'm throwing myself into this. I haven't any idea how my health is, but I'm going to go 0 to 100 here, and I'm going to start this challenge, and I'm going to really focus on some of this physical stuff. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure I'll be fine. I've always been fine. Why? Why? Tell me.
Well, not going to the doctor ever, not getting routine blood work, you have no lens into your health as a whole. Although you might think you feel a certain way or that things are normal for you, you never know if they actually are or not until you get that more internal look into things. So getting your blood work, especially before the challenge, is actually a great thing to do because it gives you that insight as to where maybe you need to make some nutritional or lifestyle changes to adjust some of those numbers. Very slowly and surely, not like a crazy flip all at once.
And I actually love this topic. I tell people all the time, like, you always see that fear of, like, my shoulder hurts. Like, oh, go get it looked at. Oh, no, I don't want to. They're going to tell me I need surgery. The greatest part about these, like, doctors and resources is they're there to help you. And they may recommend something. Sure, certain doctors may have certain biases, but that's the beauty of it, is they can't force you into anything. It's always worth understanding what's going on with your body and then adjusting appropriately and getting different opinions and making sure you know what's going on with your body before it's too late. Stuff like that.
And then you have to get surgery, and then it's sad, and then you're out of the gym for weeks or months on end.
Well, all good points. And we have our last guest here, our last person that's coming in, and it's not John Dutton, it's not Derek Taylor, it's the last one of the day.
I don't know why I'm looking at the door. Like, our guest.
Right,
Like Johnny Appleseed over here.
Who's coming in?
He thought someone was coming
Who's coming in?
Oh, that was good.
The last one of the day is none other than LeBron James. Okay. LeBron James is here. He's signing up for the 6-week transformation challenge. But you know what? At the last minute, he just decided he's going to back out because it's not quite the time. My shoulder hurts a little bit, right? Yeah, I got a leaky shoulder. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until everything feels totally fine.
I would like to start really fast with...
Sorry, we had you do that.
First, yeah.
We had to do that first.
But slightly unrealistic because LeBron's longevity is unmatched. However, there's never a perfect time to start. Melissa, I know you love this one,
I
so
love
I'm going
this
to let
one.
you take
no,
it.
You don't. No, you can take it.
No,
Ryan.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I
Go
want
cook,
to
chef.
hear you.
Go cook,
I wanna
chef.
hear you.
I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. There never is a perfect time to start, whether you think that there is or not. Life is busy and will continue to be busy and get busier. So you have to figure out kind of the strategies to deal with life and how to get into the gym when life is crazy and busy. Ryan, any other points to that one? I mean, that's the basis of it.
I mean, yeah, that's really the main meat and potatoes of this conversation that we have with a lot of people. But one thing that I always like to make sure members are cognizant of as well when doing the challenge is it's okay to adjust. We were just talking about it, how the challenge, like, it can go by so fast. Like, we started, there's all this energy, and then bang, it's week 4. And sometimes it's very helpful to take a look back at maybe the previous day, the previous morning, the previous week as a whole, and adjust what you're not liking, because you want to make sure you make the most out of these 6 weeks. It's an experimental time that you figure out how to build habits that you can sustain. It's not just, let me drop 10 pounds in 6 weeks and then I'll go back to my life. It's, let's build these habits throughout the 6 weeks with extra focus on it, and then build on that as we continue.
I think it kind of goes into realistic expectations, too, of a challenge, that maybe if you are in a period of your life where things are crazy and it's not going to be the easiest time for you to get your workouts in, that you create those guidelines for yourself to do the things that you know you can do on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, not just I'm going to work out 5 days for the 6 weeks, even though I'm working crazy hours and the kids' schedules are crazy and I can't get there. But being like, okay, you know what? I realistically can make it there 2 times a week, and just sticking to that goal for yourself, because you're still accomplishing something if you hit that versus disappointing yourself if you don't hit 5 days a week for the 6 weeks.
Amazing.
Yes.
Good stuff, guys. So I thank you for LeBron James. Thank you for coming in today.
My goat.
John Dutton, thank you so much for coming in today. Abraham Lincoln, you were a pleasure. Very tall. Shakira, I still love you. I'll always love you. Who else did we have?
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed.
Yes.
Johnny Appleseed. He had so many things he wanted to do that were
Johnny was
just
kinda
not
crazy.
in line. But I thank you all guests for being on the podcast today. And guys, make sure you avoid those common pitfalls to the 6-week transformation. Sign up now if you haven't already done so.